Because as we've said time and time again, eating bad food is the greatest thing in the world. Of course it is. Who doesn't want to take a pizza and rub it into their face? So just before the advert, the lady went... So I'm bored a-hole here. I'm not going to lie to you. I am bored. Trying to get this video to work today. So I'm just going to take every single bit of footage I've used out of it, and I'm just going to shout at you for a little while, but know that I'm not shouting at you. I am just shouting at the world in general, because just by happenstance, I happen to sit down with The Secret Lives of Slim People. I think it's quite an old series. It's been going on Channel 4. And look, fair play to Channel 4. While they do make a lot of crazy documentaries, a lot of them are quite interesting. They're quite fascinating. They look at subjects that are not only appealing, they're accessible, blah, blah, so on and so on. My girlfriend loves this kind of stuff, so she was watching it. I sat down and watched one with her, and it just killed me. It just cracked me up, especially given what we talk about on a day-to-day basis when it comes to calories and bodies and diets and BMIs and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I had footage that I was going to react to, but instead I will paint you a picture, and if I was really good at animation, I would have animated it, but that's not going to happen, and I'll just walk you through it. The two people we met were Hayley and Rania. Hopefully I can at least find some pictures of them or use something to show you. They have this amazing build-up where they're like, their friends and their family are staring at the camera going, I hate this person because they can eat whatever they want. I once saw them bathe in cheese and stick it up all their orifices, and they still didn't put on any weight. So straight away you're hooked. And of course I get the idea of the program. I know what they're doing. We'll talk about it in a second. But you want to know, well, what the hell is the answer going to be? And we go through the life of Hayley, who has 3 kids, and you see her, what does she have? She had like a hot cross bun with butter on for breakfast. Then she was a teaching assistant and she's eating a chocolate bar halfway through work, as well as admitting that if kids bring in sweets and stuff, she eats them as well. She goes home and she has a salmon and cream cheese bagel. Then she has some more Galaxy chocolate. And then before bed, she had like a big chili con carne with pasta, and she had a dessert chocolate pudding with cream. And I was like, this is fascinating. How does this woman, who admittedly doesn't do any exercise, but she had a very... stressful is not fair. Well, it was probably stressful, but quite a demanding life, right? She's got to get her kids ready. She's then teaching more kids at school. She's got to get to school. She's got to go back to school, so on and so forth. But that's not, it's good to have an active lifestyle. And yes, there are studies that show that if you do sit down, obviously, you're going to burn less calories. That stands to reason. But then we cut to the nutritionist. And I was saying it. I mean, you can't watch these programs with me. I'm an absolute awful person, and I should be thrown into a cannon and fired into a wall. But this nutritionist has been watching every move. And I said, you know what she's going to say? She's going to say, actually, when you break down the amount of calories that she's eating compared to her body size and shape and weight. They did the BMI thing as well, which is okay as a slight barometer. We've done another video on BMI. You don't need to listen to it. You really, really don't, unless you are super duper obese. Like if you're super duper obese, it's good to getting you back into a healthy lifestyle, or you're super duper on the other side, so maybe you're anorexic. It gives you something to aim for. If you're lifting weight, or trying to be healthy, or trying to be athletic, or trying to be normal, the BMI could ruin your life, so don't look at the BMI. However, on situations like this, you can use it, like I say, as somewhat of an idea. And surprise, surprise, the woman that was watching it, because they had cameras everywhere, writes it down and goes, well, even though she's eating chocolate and cakes and bagels and not really that much healthy food, quote unquote healthy food, her actual intake for the day was 2,200 calories. And based on her shape and size, I would recommend that she was eating 2,200 calories. So the reason she's staying so slim is because she's hit her maintenance calorie. Now, this is probably quite a good message to drive home to people that aren't super duper into health and fitness. But the issue that I always have with these programs is they always throw in something that could be used as an excuse. Now, they're not doing that. They're doing it because they want to keep you hooked. They'll cut to an advert and they want you to come back. But what a lot of people do is, or at least I think, tell me I'm wrong in the comments below, and please do subscribe as well, that would be great. But what a lot of people do is they look for excuses as to why they can eat bad food, because as we've said time and time again, eating bad food is the greatest thing in the world. Of course it is. Who doesn't want to take a pizza and rub it into their face? So just before the advert, the lady went, as you can see, because she has to take care of her children for so long, she took a long time to eat her food, up to 25 to 30 minutes, and there are some studies that show the slower you eat the food, the less weight and fat you put on. Now, I'm sure that's true, but that's just going to encourage people to go, sweet baby, I can eat a chocolate cake, and as long as I make that chocolate cake last like 90 minutes, it won't do anything. Bullshit. That is not how it works. The reason she stayed looking exactly like she wanted to is because she had to eat 2,200 calories a day, and on average, she was eating 2,200 calories a day. If she dropped that chocolate bar, she'd still be able to eat her hot cross buns and whatever else she was consuming, and she would lose weight. So I don't know what her friends were so upset about. Clearly, they were in a calorific, eating too much, and she wasn't. And it was simple as that. And then you cut to Rania, which was even better, because Rania was framed and promoted and bigged up as a takeaway fan. They're like, she eats takeaway for breakfast, she takes away for dinner. Sometimes she's asleep and she wakes up and somehow she's ordered takeaway and she's got a bunch of chips in her mouth. And all her friends were the same. Like, she doesn't do an exercise, she won't even walk upstairs, she wants me to carry her. I'm like, no, you're such a lazy so-and-so. So instantly, again, you are locked in and you go through her life. And yet she orders, Deliveroo and stuff like that. And she had, takeaway apps that I'm sure everywhere now. I don't know if Deliveroo's in America. But she goes to Starbucks and then she goes to get some kind of doner meat. And essentially throughout the day, she's about 4 to 5 takeaways. That's what she consumes. And she always says, I order my takeaway before I'm even hungry. But at the same time, I'm hungry all the time. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But then you watch her and she'll eat half of what she's ordered and she throws the other half away. So, if you order a massive Domino's pizza, but you eat 2 slices, sure, you haven't got a healthy diet, but there's a massive difference between eating 2 and 8 slices. I eat the 8 slices because I'm a disgusting pig and somebody needs to come and slap me around. So you go through this whole process again. You're a little bit worried for this lady because you're like, why are you stop throwing so much food away? I thought we were in an environmental crisis. And then surprise, surprise, the nutritionist sits down and does her thing and says, well, actually, she's guessworking, but still, this person knows what they're talking about. If you figure out what she is eating based on the actual quantities, don't forget what she's ordered, based on the actual quantities, she probably is only getting around 1,800 to 1,900 calories a day. We have estimated that's 100 calories too less, so she's in a calorific deficit, which means she can eat whatever you like. Now, I'm not saying that you should go and eat whatever the hell you like. I always push for and promote for a healthy diet because it's going to make you feel better. Again, the most important word in health and fitness, is the word health. But this just proves it. There's a few other things I want to go into. But when it comes down to it, it's always going to be about what the hell is going into your mouth and what your body actually needs to consume in order for you to be able to get through your day. You could sit on your ass, right, for a week and not do anything. And I don't know, just say you only needed 500 calories in order to do that. Just have 400 and you'll still be able to lose weight. Another reason I like to shout this stuff at you is because sometimes people really get lost when it comes to losing fat and losing weight. They just don't know what to do. Sometimes you just got to keep it really, really simple and go, okay, what the hell am I eating? How much activity am I doing? Let's try and marry these 2 things up in order to get to where I want to go. And it's always hard. Of course it is. It's never easy if you've already put on that fat, but it can be done and it doesn't have to be some voodoo or especially some magic pill. It's never a magic pill. But yeah, so some of the other things that they talked about, which are fascinating, is that the crazy takeaway lady, she was perfectly pleasant, but she just ate a lot of takeaways. She was sensitive to the hunger hormone. And of course, some people, if you are super duper sensitive to the hunger hormone, you get more hungry when you're hungry. It's the most basic thing ever, right? So when you eat and it hits your stomach, that hormone gets released. It basically sends a message back to your brain and says, stop eating. I've got enough. I don't need it. If you're super duper sensitive to that, you still get the response, but you may be hungry later, but then you may go eat a crisp and go, oh no, I don't actually need it. So she talked about that and said, so maybe the calorie deficit is facilitated by hormone sensitivity, because of course, maybe that trigger is being pushed a little sooner than it would be in anybody else. But still, she's not hungry all the time and she eats and she gets rid of it. And then there was another person, and this one, it goes crazy, in terms of teaching your body when to expect food. Because if you do that and you get into a routine, your body expects food at a certain time, like a pet does, like Pavlovian conditioning, so it releases the right enzymes. But the thing with that is you still have to be eating the right food. There is no enzyme in your body that is going to be released. Go, oh man, there's a bunch of fat from ice cream. Just eradicate the stuff we don't need, and then ipso facto, you can just eat crap whenever you want. And fair play, they did mention if you want to put on muscles, you've got to be eating more protein and exercising. So there was good information in there. And they also talked about some lady that had their calories spot on, but they had diverse gut bacteria from a varied diet, which is supposed to be good. And it is. Of course it's good. But these are the 1 to 2%. When we're talking about the basics and we're talking about the fundamentals, it always comes down to what you're eating. You can eat it within 32 seconds, you can eat it within 32 minutes, but if it's a pile of crap, eventually your body is not going to know what to do with it, so it will store it as fat. But I will say, if you are into all this nutrition stuff, check out The Secret Lives of Slim People. You'll laugh, you'll have a great time. I'm going to watch them all, and I may even do a running update. Unless this video dies, then we're just going to forget about it. That's just how YouTube works. Now, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. The button is right there. Give the notification bell a click so you know other videos are going live. And there is another video right there. Please do give it a click. The Power 13 cookbook, Greg Doucette's new cookbook, which I am privileged to be in, you can get at the link in the description below. Use the code Simon15, get 15% off right now. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Simon316. I've got Patreon, patreon.com/Simon316. That's how you support the channel, because we don't do crazy views. So whatever financial extras I can get to keep this going is always helpful. Simon.bigcartel.com for merchandise. Otherwise, you take care of yourself. And that has been The Secret Life of Slim People. They just ain't eating very much.